Hey, this is Max. I'm back with another CSR2 video. So here we are, part 2 of the Max Fix My Garage. I am doing a 7-day recap of the progression on this garage. I'm going to tell you what I focused on, what I did, and what the results are. So first things first. What I did when I did the first video is I explained that one of the common problems with beginning players is that they tend to build everything and spend money aimlessly. What I did is I put certain cars in garage number 1 and I marked them as the only cars essentially that we would spend on. Before we even got to this point though, I initially had the Aston Martin Vanquish sitting in the spot that the RX-7 is in now because at the time we didn't pull the RX-7. Before even getting into this season, I spent 2 days basically saving money. The goal is to try to get to about 2.5 million because I know that's what it costs to build this car if you pull it. And if I don't pull it, I now have 2.5 million I can invest into this car or this car to build it up for making points. So it's a balancing act of which one you want to do depending on what your luck gives you. This season was very lucky though. One, got the RX-7. Two, the owner of the account says, look, man, I'm feeling lucky. You're a lucky guy. I know from looking at your videos, you had a lot of nice cars, man. Pull some more keys, please. I said, all right, all right. I gave in. Normally I wouldn't do it. Once I had the PC car, I was done. I was ready to just send keys. I gave in and pulled two additional times. And what we pulled was a Liberty Walk 650S and a Viper ACR Extreme Arrow. Very good pulls for Silver Key. I honestly was expecting a 1 star and a 2 star, and then I was going to tell him, look what you did. You just wasted 100 keys. Instead, we got a 5 star and a 4 star, and I have nothing to say. So, can't complain about that. That's the good things, the good luck stuff that happened this season so far in 7 days. The bad luck stuff, well, two major face palm moments as I was building this F12. Basically, what I did is I was intent on building it as quickly as possible. And I clicked upgrading with gold. Yes, yes. A big no-no for everybody, for the most part, is you don't upgrade with gold. If you can't wait 4 hours, 5 hours, or 6 hours for a part to be delivered, you're just impatient. Well, did I click it intentionally? No. I was hoping Natural Motion would at least have something in the future added where if you click on the gold to build, it'll at least give you a confirmation question of, are you sure you want to waste 678 gold on this? Well, actually, no, I wasn't sure. I was hoping not to spend any gold, and now I'm out of 1,000 gold because I accidentally clicked that twice during the last 7 days. Um, I was not happy about that. Well, how did I make that mistake? It was a lag reduced clicking of the wrong spot. It's the best way I can describe it. Basically, I was aiming for the money part, the mouse lagged, the screen lagged, then boom, gold's gone. There's nothing you can do about it. You can send messages to support. They're not going to give you your gold back because you clicked that. Okay. Um, so yeah, went from 1,000 gold down to 200 gold at this point. Actually, I went from 680 to almost zero, and then built it up to almost 300 something, and then boom, accident again and out of gold again. So for the past 7 days, basically every bit of gas that I can get had to be from ads, and I couldn't use gold. Here, by basically religiously finishing these, the gold has built up a little bit to 200 something, but man, we could be sitting on 1,200 right now, and I'm still kind of upset about that. But you got to take the good with the bad. You pulled two 5 star cars out of 5 pulls. I mean, lucky, very lucky. 5 pulls, two 5 star cars, one 4 star car, and I don't even remember what the other two is, nor do I care. So very lucky season so far. Now, at this point, I am basically clamping down on key expenditures. Everything from here is about saving silver keys. The bronze keys, we're going to end up spending when the cup starts in 2 days. There'll be a crate for the Mazda, and this Mazda is definitely not ready for the PC Cup. My estimate of the PC Cup is that given that this car is a 10 point something car maxed, if Natural Motion is trying to be nice to us, they would make it probably a 12-second cup, meaning The final time is probably somewhere in the very, very low 12s. If Natural Motion is not in the mood to be super nice to us, it could be a 11-7 cup, and that's going to be really difficult. I will eventually do a video on the stage 6 effects. I just don't have them all yet, but I can tell you right now the stage 6s I do have can only get my Mazda to about a high 11s, and I have almost all of them. I'm only missing 2, and I have a lot of fusions in. So that tells you if it's not a 12.2, 12.3 PC cup, it's going to be really hard. Let's hope it's easier. But the Mazda may or may not be fully ready, but it is built to stage 5. So from a building standpoint for the last 7 days, first thing I did, 2.5 million saved before the season even started. Last 2 days of last season, all I did was save money, race, and do nothing else. Save keys, save money. Season starts, I was sitting on about 2.5 million. Pull the Mazda, then the Mazda gets built right away. Boom, stage 5, and the money's gone. However, beginning of the season, during those few days, you continuously make money, and the money is only expended on 1 or 2 cars at the most, and that's these 2. You need a tier 5 car, a good one, because you need it for making money, you need it for live, and you need it for progression in general. The Tempest stuff, don't even worry about that. But tier 5 you do need. Here's why. Because if you have a tier 5 car and you go out into live lobby, every time you win, it's like 13,000 money, 12 to 13,000. If you're only winning with a lower tier car and you don't have money, you're not making any money. Okay, tier 2, tier 3 makes so little money in comparison. In the long run, it's not worth it. I don't even like using tier 4 for that reason because it's 4,000 shorter than a tier 5 car in live. The F12 became the priority build for this season. Whoa, 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 whoa. Why aren't you building the LB? Isn't that the priority? You said that's one of the best tier 5s around. Yes, it is, but it's not the only tier 5 around. And also, it is a permanent freshness car. Before you start focusing too much on a permanent freshness car, you first need a non-permanent freshness car built in every tier because you don't want to skip any cups or trials on the map on any given day. They give fusions, they give money, they give you chance for stage 6, they give gold, they give keys. You got to have at least 1 car of each tier, a good one, that is non-permanent freshness. You will need it for running those trials. This account fortunately has most of the tiers covered except for tier 2, which I unfortunately had to upgrade this card a little bit just so I can take it in and do the tier 2 cup, which required non-permanent freshness. I didn't use that card because I don't know how to tune it and I can't drive it well, so I left it alone. But this one I played with before, even though it's a no star, it did the job. But again, notice it's still in the back garage. I don't consider it something I'm going to continue to build. It's no good. Oh, yeah, yeah. Here's the gold key pull. This account had 1 gold key and it pulled a 911 Turbo S. Porsche, nice, but it's not a great Porsche. It's in the back garage. It's got to wait. These cars have potential, but not a whole lot. I'm not going to build them. This car was actually pretty built already, but I favored the F12 and the Hurricane over the 570S. So the F12 became the priority build for now. And this will continue to be the priority build until it hits at least 42 out of 42 and about 100 or 90 some fusions, at which point it is ready to take on pretty much everything that can be thrown at it, and you now have a very flexible tier 5 card to work off of. Day to day, you have to run everything on the map to make points. Because you're a new player, you're not going to make huge points here because you don't have a card that's going to make huge points in live. This F12, tuned the way it is, will win, but it won't make much more than a few hundred points. If it's at 500 plus Evo points, it still won't make a whole lot of points, but you're not winning on top of it. So I'd rather just deal with the low Evo points and still make my 400 or 500 points of RP, but at least I'm guaranteed I can win if I need to. And that's important because you want the keys from the wins. So you want to have a card that allows you to easily control winning, at least at this stage. As you get better in the future with more card variety, you may not have to use the F12 at all, nor any of its tricks to win anymore. you can win just fine without doing any of that. Okay, so the F12's advantage is that it runs way under dyno at any given time, so you can easily control what you want to run and control wins. Obviously, low RP, and you race the tier 4 cars, so low money, but hey, tier 5 cars generally, if I do regulation races, that's like 12,000 a pop too. So I do a lot of regulation races with this car. Um, so here's basically where you're at. You got a winning car. You can kind of grind through without giving up a lot of wins. You can get your keys quickly, and that is why I decided to focus on the F12 for now. The LB Hurricane will do it and do it better with a lot more RP points, but that's going to be a little more work to build up. So right now I'm just going to kind of focus on the car that I have here that can do the job. And yeah, he slowed down. So he knows I'm just kind of pacing him. So let's see if he'll re-challenge. So tier 5 versus tier 5, here you go. Okay, 13,000 something money. Right now. Okay. So that's the F12. That's why I picked the F12. I think it's a good car. I'm building it. It's a slow progression. You're not going to get it built overnight. And also, you don't want to come out of the hole spending all that money on the F12. You always want to save up enough money for the PC Cup car first. So coming into the season, that's the priority. Once you get through this part, or you pull the car and you build it, then you go back and you focus on building the primary future car that you're going to be using. So what do we do now? At this point in the season, what you're going to do is, one, you're going to wait for the PC Cup to start. You are part of a milestone crew, so you're going to go and collect every free point you can get, and that is every crew cup, including today's, which I did have the SLS from last season. That SLS was barely built, but it had no problem beating the crew cup because it's made to be extremely easy, and that's 80 some thousand crew points. That crew point is added on top of your personal RP point. So I'm seeing 169,000 here, but in the crew, it's showing almost 300,000. So 500,000 crew point minimum is very easy to make. So that is the 7-day progression. A F12 went from nothing to decently built. We got lucky, pulled a PC car that's fully built, pulled more cars that are viable in the future, but left alone for now. And we're well on our way making the crew minimum at respect rank about 69. I think the crew is not unhappy to have this account. I am right around the middle of the crew's overall point makers, meaning I'm not in the top, but I'm not at the bottom. And for a new account that is struggling to still build, that's not a bad place to be. So 7 days, lots of progress, most of it made from focusing on building specific cars, not wasting money, not wasting keys. And I'm confident that the same pattern repeated next season will allow this account to continue to grow. It also now has some really nice cars in the higher tiers to work with. I'm actually kind of hoping to pull some decent lower tier cars. This LBRS5 Coupe may become the primary tier 3 car in the future if this Hellcat doesn't get maxed out next season, because it's actually faster and it also is pretty good all the way up, I believe, to Tempest 3. So this car in the long run would be a good car, but the stage 6s are hard to come by. This car, hard to get parts, same deal. I wish this was a 2-star Mustang. I would be focusing on this, but it's not. So tier 3, tier 2 needs some work still. Tier 1, I'm waiting on an Abarth. I mean, I would love to get one, because then I would have a nice tier 1 car that I can win keys with and do all kinds of stuff with. Or a 1-star GTI, which does everything as well, and can get you through Tempest 2, but not for Tempest 3 because you get the Miata. Okay, well, that concludes this update of where the account is after 7 days. Give me your feedback. What do you think? Am I doing well? Did I go in the right direction? Obviously, luck has something to do with it. We were very lucky. to get a bunch of nice cars, and you know, make comments, put suggestions in. Ask me what you, or tell me what you would like to discuss, or have me discuss, or have me show you so you can see. And subscribe to the channel so you can get notifications. And as always, I thank you for watching my videos.